All right, class. First off, as always, good day. I'm glad you're here. So, today we're going to be talking about one of the greatest time era in Rome. Um, it's known as Pax Romana, and also we're going to talk about also what happened to Octavian after his uncle Julius Caesar died, and what happens to him and things like that. So that's what we're going to go over today. All right, so the objective today, we're going to analyze how effective was Augustus, which you're going to find out who that was. We're going to critique on what it means to be a good emperor. And lastly, we're going to create an argument on whether the acronym AD is the Mandela effect. Okay, so again, some of you guys may be like, AD, does that mean something? Yeah, when it talks about time, we use BC, AD. Some of you guys have an idea what it means. We're going to see if you're right or not today. Now, what's a little different about this worksheet compared to the ones in the past is that this warm-up only has one question. Okay, so be sure you just answer that one question. And it says, based off your analysis of this picture, does it look like Rome was in a time of peace or in time of war? And how did you come to that conclusion? Justify it. Tell me, how did you be like, that looks like they're in time of war or they're in a time of peace. How did you come up with that conclusion? What about this made you say, yeah, peacetime or wartime? Okay. So look at it, analyze it, look at the background, foreground, left to right, all that good stuff. Okay. And then go ahead and write it out. So pause the video, write your response because we're moving on in 3, 2, 1. All right. So in 27 BC, the Senate gave Octavian, which was Julius Caesar's great nephew, the title of Augustus. So his name went from Octavian to Augustus. And from 31 BC until 14 AD, this was known as the Age of Augustus. It was a very glorious, time. Things were getting better for basically 45 years. Okay. He was popular, but his main source of power was controlling the army. Okay? He was able to make sure that, hey, that they did not lose, that they were trained and disciplined, and maintained control of the empire. Now the Senate, as time went on, decided, you know what, we should give him another title, and it was Imperator. That sounds familiar, right? Like emperor. That's where we get that term from, emperor. Okay. Now, Augustus, not Julius Caesar, is the first emperor of the Roman Empire. This is one of those questions a lot of people get wrong because, again, they know Julius Caesar, but they don't really know who Octavian Augustus is. So, the other thing is, I mentioned, AD does not mean after death. Yes, the term BC means before Christ, because again, we use the Roman Catholic calendar. Okay, so yeah, BC means before Christ. AD means Anno Domini, which is Latin for in the year of our Lord. Okay, it does not mean after death. And just to give you an idea, it's like this: if it's based on the life of Jesus at 0, right? BC, before he was born, here's 0. Then he's born. How can he died at the age of like 31, 32 years old? What was those years then? Just 31? No, it was 31 AD, 32 AD in the year of our Lord, not after death, because he wasn't born one moment and died the next. No, there was time when he was alive. So, yeah. So that's how you know AD does not mean after death. It's in the year of our Lord, because that's when Jesus was born, and that's when the Christian Catholic, Holy Roman Catholic calendar starts, is when he was born. Okay. Now, after Octavian, some people were like, oh, is the next emperor going to be as good as him? Well, yeah, they had a series of good emperors that arose in the first and second century. Um, you had Nerva, Trajan, Hadrian, um, Pius, and my personal favorite, Marcus Aurelius, a very, very smart man, um, and he was able to expand the Roman Empire quite a bit too. Now, how all these guys become known as good emperors? Basically, they did very small things but meant a lot to the people and to those senators and things, or well, senators, but mainly the people. One, they treated the ruling class with respect. They didn't look down on them like, I'm up here, you're down here. What I say goes, and that's it. I don't want to hear none from you. No, they listened to the people. What's your problem? What's your issue? If you need water, okay, let's try to solve this problem. They maintained peace in the empire. So if one town got attacked near the border, they made sure to resolve that issue quick, fast, and in a hurry. All right. So on top of that, too, the emperor supported domestic policy. So like laws, in local levels, not like Rome itself, but in the little towns and some of that, that were basically helpful for the empire. You know, so if there's someone making a law saying, "Oh, you can't work past 5 o'clock," they might be like, "Well, could you guys raise that up to like maybe 6, 7? Just in case people want to work. You know, there are some people can ask to work more. So again, they try to do things that were helpful for the people and the empire. Now, this time of peace, this time of um, growth, and uh, just I want to use the word humbleness, but it kind of was. They just grew, and everything was kind of in a sense good. The only bad things were when the barbarian tribes would attack, but other than that, things were good. This time became known as Pax Romana, you know, the golden era, and it lasted for about 200 years. And then after that, things start to go towards a little nosedive. And that's what we'll be talking about in the next classes. Because some of these emperors, not as good as some of these guys mentioned right here on this slide. So, here is your next question. Why do you think people remember the name Caesar more than Augustus when Augustus did so much more for Rome? Why? Caesar was in power for this much time. Augustus was a lot more, and he did a lot more for the people of Rome and the empire of Rome. But why is Caesar remembered more? Why do you think? Okay, so go ahead, think about it, write your response. Okay, now once you have written your response, that's it for this lesson. So hopefully you learned something new. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Okay, double check to make sure your name is on the paper. Okay, and that's it. All right, so you guys take care, be safe, and I'll see you later. Okay.